Welcome back to another episode of the podcast where each week we talk to people from varied backgrounds and talk to them about the stuff that they like and the things that they like doing. So all the cool stuff. If you're new here, please rate, review, and subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. A big thank you very much to the Patreon supporters as well. Jonathan Haggard, Bjorn Linden, Damian Monroe, Me Lee, Sam Marshall, and Tim Mercer. If you want your script read or personal shout out on this podcast, please visit patreon.com/honorandconquer for more of those details. And also, if you do your shopping on Amazon, go to our homepage at honorandconquer.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, click the Amazon banner and do your shopping like you normally would. We receive a little kickback of your purchases made. We are also sponsored by Me Eat Paleo. Paleo peanut butter is a delicious and unique blend of nuts and seeds. They are Whole30 approved, non-GMO, project verified with no added sugars, not even the ones that are considered acceptable if you are doing paleo, such as honey or maple. And every single jar is handmade friggity fresh. Get your peanut butter at meeatpaleo.com. Use our promo code HONOR for a 10% discount off your online order. And last but not least, we are brought to you by our friends at GetOnnit. They are focused on total human optimization of the mind, body, and health. And for a limited time only, exclusive to the podcast listeners, GetOnnit are giving you 2 great deals on 2 of my favorite supplements. A free 30-count bottle of New Mood, a daily stress and mood support. A free 28-count bottle of ShroomTech Sport, which has quickly become my favorite pre-workout supplement, and it doesn't give you any jitters. All you have to do is go to honorandconquer.com/GetOnnit. Click your preferred link and get optimized today. And all you have to pay for is shipping, and the offer is only available in the United States. Do all those cool things. Kellin, what's going on, bro?
Hey, here I am. I'm good, man. I'm good. This is my first time under the big lights, so I've as you were doing the read, I felt a little nervous, like I needed to prepare something very special.
Why?
Because we got a whole production now.
The only thing is added is the lights, though. Other things would be... It is a little different, though.
Yeah.
Like with the lights. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, we've got like these big kind of floodlights behind the cameras. And they are kind of daunting. It does look professional. But if anything, those lights cost like $60. So it's not that fancy.
No, it's good. I like it. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, man. Kellen's been staying with us for about a week, almost a week. He went to the Formula One races at some circuit.
Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas.
COTA for short.
COTA?
COTA, COTA, yeah.
Perfect. All of the Formula One shit. He watched... Get this, guys. He watched the cars. They were racing around, and they did the figure 8. And you know what else they did? And they went back around. And Kellin was sitting there watching it, and all of a sudden he sees the car coming. Oh, there he comes. And then went right past him, and then, oh, man, that's cool. And then he wait for another figure 8. What do you love about racing?
Something like that. It's... I'm not a racer. I've never raced on that level. But I've had an enthusiasm for cars and motorcycles for a long time, and I've done research and been following. So I can appreciate what it takes to go into the sport. You know, it's sort of similar to I'll just put it this way in simpler terms for us, like. It's sort of similar to like Muay Thai or kickboxing or something. Is, you know, from a very outsider's perspective, it's like, oh, cool. You like watching people punch and kick each other. Sweet. All right. But like being on the inside, you understand, you know, what it takes to get to that point, the technique involved, like all these intricate pieces.
Yeah.
So that's really what drew me in more. Initially, it was just that, like, what you kind of see, like fast cars, cool noises, like that's the initial draw. And then from there, once you realize like all the drivers are extremely well conditioned athletes, like some of the best on the planet, and not even just from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint, they have to have such fast reaction time that they do all these really neat training things to like get themselves to that level, and then just the ability to be so consistent, because it's for Formula One, it's a 56 lap race. So they can go out and have an amazingly fast one lap, but they have to string, 50 something of those together. And they have to work with their pit crew, and like it's a really cool sort of orchestrated thing.
Do you ever watch rally car racing?
I have, yeah. I like rally.
Do you like rally?
I do. I don't know nearly as much about rally, but I respect the hell out of the fact that there's the co-pilot who's like navigating and the driver, and their communication like at that speed and at that velocity is just crazy.
It's fucking bizarre listening to their co-pilot going for it.
Yeah.
But they're so calm about it, and they're going so fast.
Yeah, and they're like whizzing by trees and shit. Like, yeah.
I get worried about that. Like, just for them, because the co-pilot's sitting there, and he's like, sharp left turn, sharp right. You got a curve coming up. And the driver's going, but he's probably calm as shit too, just like his co-pilot. But they're whizzing around corners, going so fast. Watching it on TV, they're going super quick.
Yeah.
But it's just another day in there.
Is there rally in New Zealand? Because I know you said, we were talking the other day, there's actually quite a bit of car racing in New Zealand.
Car racing, bike racing.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been listening to a little bit of New Zealand radio. They had a lot of bike racing, like motor racing.
Yeah.
If that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
With the motorbikes.
And
I was telling him that in my hometown of Wanganui, they do a cemetery circuit every Boxing Day, which is like, it brings out everyone, and people from all over New Zealand travel to do it, which I think is still it's a great tradition to do. Even if you're not into racing, you just go along and watch.
Yeah.
You know, you don't even have to like. There's no pay to get in type deal.
Oh, cool.
It's open to the public.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and I think I told you yesterday, but one of the Formula One drivers is a New Zealander, Brendon Hartley. I don't know anything about him aside from what I learned this weekend, but he. It was kind of like a last minute thing, and he got into the race. It was his first Formula One race.
Oh, really?
In Austin, yeah. It was like kind of a wild card type situation, but he got in. Yeah, he was toward the back, but nonetheless, like, it's kind of cool.
What was his place? Did he win anything?
He did not win. He was, like second or third to last.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck
I mean, it's his first race. It's
but
cool.
The fact that he got there was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. You don't get there by accident.
Is it like World Championships? The Formula One is like the World
It's
Championship?
the elite, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's like the top level. They race all over the world. This is the only race in America, but yeah, I mean,
how did it become the second most popular sport in the world, you reckon?
that is a good question. I didn't know that until like last week that it was that popular. Because I don't personally follow that as much as like motorcycle racing, because that's what I like more. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just because it does have such a global reach, and it's been happening for so long. It's just such a spectator sport.
It is. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's just so crazy how even that's the second most popular sport in the world next to soccer. Mm-hmm. I can totally see why soccer's number one. Yeah, for sure. But number two is Formula One racing.
I think part of it might be too because, like with soccer, with soccer, for example, like people can go out and play soccer like recreationally, right? Mm-hmm. But you can't go out and drive a Formula One car just on your free time.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you could, but you have to pay
so
thousands
it's like,
of dollars.
Yeah, it's like on a different level. But yeah, it was fun, man.
No, man, that's awesome that you went out. It was a spanning of 3 days. Friday they had the qualifier?
So the practice rounds, yeah. Friday was a practice round. Saturday morning was a practice round. Saturday afternoon, I got there about midday Saturday. Saturday afternoon was their qualifying round. So they'll do like hot laps, and then if you're in like the bottom 5, you get dropped from the qualifying, and then they kind of sort out the grid that way. Mm-mm. And then that determines the starting position for the race on Sunday.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so Sunday is like the real race?
Sunday's the race, yeah. So Friday and Saturday to just like practice, getting used to the track, getting the car set up, like all that stuff.
And, I see now. Then why did they have Justin Timberlake and Stevie Wonder play?
That's just because they knew it was there was almost 500,000 people that came to COTA this weekend, to check it out. So it's just such a big draw that they, just helps with the whole appeal of it.
Do you think they had dwindling ticket sales? Is why they got them?
I don't know, because I was bitching about the ticket price because it's almost $200 for a general admission 3-day ticket. Damn. But, if you go to the track, all 3 days and you go to both concerts, like that's actually not that bad.
Yeah. You're getting your worth.
I didn't do that, but if people out there that did, yeah, I mean it's actually not that bad. But plus there's parking. Like parking was kind of a bitch.
$40 for parking.
40. That's the cheapest. That's like the lowest level parking.
What else did they have?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even. All the other ones were sold out when I was looking at them yesterday. But $40 got you the parking spot and then a shuttle, air quotes, to the track, which was just a local school bus that they loaded people on.
I love that. Just get on the school bus. We'll take you to the track.
Yeah.
Here you go, kids. Get the fuck out.
It was literally the local school bus drivers. The guy was like, "This is my normal route. I know exactly, like, because this one road was really bumpy."
Yeah.
And he like, roller coaster rides are for free. And he was like saying, "This is my normal route, and I know where all the bumps are and stuff." So that was kind of cool, actually.
I hope he got paid extra.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he was getting paid for that.
But I mean, a lot of money.
I don't know.
If he's doing the Formula One,
Yeah.
and the Formula One general admissions ticket is almost $200, and the merchandise was like $60 for a fucking hat.
Oh, dude, yeah. At the least, that was the cheapest hat I saw, up to like $80 for a hat, and then I don't think there was a T-shirt under like $90. And then they had all like jerseys and hoodies and all the other shit.
Then that bus driver should have got paid $1,000.
He may have. I don't
An extra
know.
$1,000. I would have had the tips on, like point.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would have had a tip jar, like right there.
Actually, I think one of them did. They might have. She had like a little pumpkin jar, like
Fuck
sitting
yeah,
on the
man.
thing, and
Think about all the foreigners that have come in. Like, when I say foreigners, like people from out of state coming in. Man, I would have made a killing.
dude, parking. I mean, there was people just opened up their front yards for parking. Spots were $30 to $50 a pop, and they have 50 to 100 people in their yard.
What?
That's good money for one day.
Oh,
and
fuck
they don't
yeah.
do shit. They just like make sure people give them their money.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's sitting on a yard chair
Yeah.
and be like, "Oh, $50, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
put a tip in this cup right here. There's
Yeah.
a tip, $2 tip."
And the track's like out in the middle of nowhere. It's actually in this little town called Elroy, Texas, which is just
Wait, so you had to like travel to this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the track is like out 20 miles outside, maybe less than that, outside of Austin, but it's in this little town, Elroy, and there's like nothing. It's like back country Texas or whatever the term is for that landscape of Texas. But yeah, it was cool. So it's like spreading the wealth, kind of, all sorts of different places.
Are you going past the airport?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go past the airport.
So you're going far out.
It's not too bad. Yeah. I mean,
It's a nice drive.
yeah, it's pretty easy with the freeways.
Mm.
The freeways around here. I mean, I was telling you that earlier. I'm pretty impressed, at least coming from Portland, Oregon, how easy it is to travel around Austin, and the freeways will get you pretty much everywhere you want to go, and they're well built, so there's not too much traffic.
Oh, just another day here in Austin.
Oh my!
Just
this is a
day.
theme we've got going on with this fucking guy.
Just another day in Austin, man. I mean, it's hard. It's you get used to it. But in saying that, another day, you were lucky enough to do some modeling for OnIt.
I sure was.
Which I thought was very, very cool. And I was telling Megan about this before you even came.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh man, how buzzy it's going to be at the OnIt gym. And I didn't know you were on it, that you were modeling until you got here.
Yeah.
And I was telling
Neither
Megan.
did I.
Yeah. And I was telling Megan before we went to bed, I was like, shit, how buzzy is that? You hear about OnIt, you come into the city, you go to the gym, you meet the people, and you see all the stuff that you see on Instagram or on the internet.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, you're doing the OnIt photo shoot. They were nice enough to just give you that gear for free.
Yeah. They hooked me up.
Has it been buzzy for you, kind of doing that?
It really has, yeah. It's it has been crazy just because you moved 6 months or roughly 4 months ago. I keep saying 6. 4 months ago.
Like that,
yeah, around there. And I'd never been down here, and I set it in my mind almost immediately after you left. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go visit him. But I still have, I was telling you earlier, like I get it from my dad. Like I'm naturally sort of adverse to taking vacation for some reason because I don't want to miss work and whatever.
Yeah.
But I just said fuck it and bought the tickets and all that fun stuff, and here I am. So from seeing you guys to Austin to GetOnnit, it's all been it's been a jam-packed vacation. But yeah, from like starting to follow GetOnnit, whatever, 6 years ago when I heard about it, and just to kind of see Megan get involved, and then here I am, and then maybe other things are gonna happen. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. It really helps sort of bring it all into reality. So it's not just like something that I can like touch on my phone. It's I'm actually at the gym. I'm like meeting the people. Like we saw the CEO the other day, and some other really high level coaches there, and taking classes, and just it's really cool to like touch it and use it and be in the physical space. Even behind the scenes, like in Megan's office in the creative space, like seeing all that, I was touching everything.
So this fucking guy, when I first got here, I always try to play cool. Like I try, just get to, because it's a new guy in their space. There's a new guy in the creative room, which is where Megan's office is, where they work. Now I don't want to be touching everything. So I'll sit and be quiet. I know my place. I'm just the guy. And then a week or two in, or maybe a little longer, then I'll start to like get kind of mosey around and look at the cool things that they got going on, because they know me. They're comfortable with me. They know my first name. This fucking guy, Kellin Stein.
Right away.
It was the morning of the photo shoot, and we kind of had some time to kill, like to just chill out and stuff like that, make sure Kellin had the clothes that he needed. And he just started touching shit. Just started looking at me and touch it. I don't say it like not in a bad way, but just like he's just geeking out hard. Kellin's just asking questions about everything. Is this the alpha brain? That's that's the alpha brain. Oh, that's cool. Is this the Star Wars? This is Star Wars stuff. Look at this. I don't think this is a real kettlebell. I think this is the cast of a kettlebell. Otherwise, that would be really heavy. Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Look at this thing. Who was this naked lady on the wall? It's like Michelle Waterson. Yeah, that's cool. And then I started kind of thinking about it, is that you are really behind the scenes. Like you're in a spot where not a lot of even gym members come to get to go see.
Yeah.
You're in a spot where only the people that work there or significant others get to go in.
Right.
And the creative space is kind of considered like the cool spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just lucky that Megan works in there, that you can kind of have a look at the cool shit, you know what I mean? Because I really think it's cool. Like I'll look around the room and, I'll get to see future apparel designs coming up and future designs that are coming. And it's a real, over the top man cave.
It really is.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I totally agree with that. And I've even been taking advantage of like asking Megan, when I see like a certain social media feed or something, I'm like, well, who, like, I know that you do this, like, who does this? Like, how does this work? Like, I'm not like asking her, and she's not giving me anything that I shouldn't have in terms of information, but it's just cool to like see how it's all connected and how it operates. And like you said, like that's like a super deep peek, behind the curtain of how it works.
For sure. And it's cool to see who like in terms of Instagram, like who runs it and who like actually comments back. And Megan's just in charge of posting and captions,
right?
And Lizzie's in charge of response and like social media responses and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which I think is great. Meeting someone like a physical person, like an actual person behind the thing, and
that way next week when I go home and I'll see like a response on Instagram, I'll be like, I know who's doing that.
Exactly. I think that too. Like I know who's responding to that. It's Lizzie. But it's what Lizzie actually said last night. When she works for Aubrey now. You just realize that they're just normal people,
right?
Because you met Isak, you've met Mr. John Wolf, you've met, who else have you met?
Alex
Anushian, for sure. But those characters who have been since day one, like Isak and John Wolf, you get to meet them and they're just dudes. You know what I mean? they've been in that spot for a long time because it's, they like what they do, or they love what they do, and they're meeting people who are, like Megan said, super fans, not super fans, but
Right.
I'm not saying you're a super fan. I'm just saying,
I'm not on it, so just back up.
Says the guy wearing the On It hat and the On It sweatshirt.
Shit, busted. Okay.
But it's
forgot there's video here.
Yeah. But it's cool to like meet them, and like Isak is the coolest dude in the world.
Yeah.
Like a fucking solid dude. I love John Wolf as well.
Yeah, both those guys were very, very nice.
Yeah, fucking solid dudes.
And like when someone like goes out of their way to be nice, similar to this morning, like we went to this taco place, Taco Deli. If you're in Austin, hit it up. Super good breakfast tacos.
Really good.
But the two ladies were like very patient, and they explained how it worked, and just like went kind of out of their way to make sure that we felt like set up.
Yeah.
And that just really enriches the whole experience. And I got that same sort of feeling from both Isak and John Wolf, just even briefly meeting them. Like they seem very...
Well, even right off the bat, John Wolf was like, if you need anything, let me know.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was like, of course he would say
the head guy who like... he went literally from that statement to like doing a personal training session with Aubrey. That guy's like, yeah, I'll take care of you. Just let me know what's up.
Yeah, for sure. That's it. But no, it's cool to have you here, and it's cool to see you react and like even like I give you shit for it, like touch all those things, It's cool to see you react that way, because it almost reminds me that I was once that person that wanted to touch all the shit. You know what I mean? So it really puts it into perspective, is that people look at Onnit as not a holy grail, but like the thing, the thing that they love and they're passionate about, and that they follow.
Right.
But yeah, I'm glad you were able to kind of geek out a little bit like that.
Yeah, man.
I thought it was fun.
It's been so cool. Yeah, it's been great. Even like meeting like the people at the Onnit Cafe. Like the people who make the awesome smoothies and shit, like they're extremely nice, and
man. Solid people.
Yeah, it's just really fun to see it all come together. And like the warehouse sale, like that's something that only local people get to take advantage of, which I am not, but I just happen to be here, so it's kind of cool to see how that whole thing operates. And people were loading up on shit, which was awesome.
Bro, loading. So so the Onnit warehouse sale just happened this past weekend, and I wasn't planning on buying anything. Like, I genuinely wasn't. But when I saw that Hella kettlebell for $15, like, might want it. Got that. Saw a bundle of t-shirts for $40. I'm like, I might want that.
$20.
$20, whatever it was. And then Megan getting her things that she wanted and some gifts, and taking it away for a considerable amount.
He can't even say it's offensive.
I can't even say it. We were planning to spend, when we added it up in our head, it was like $60. It didn't even come close to $60.
Oh man, yeah, it was good. It was a solid sale.
Fuck yeah. And then we went back for seconds. I was about to buy another Howler monkey, but I knew the wife would say no.
Well, and I even got to see, like, the day before that, I think, I even got to see the distribution center.
Oh, yeah.
And then even the CX side. So, like, I work for Airbnb doing CX. So, like, it's kind of a similar world. So, to, like, see the Onnit version of it, customer experience.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, to see Onnit's, like, version of CX, they have a really cool, like, wooden spacecraft type deal. I don't know what the hell what that is, but
that was my first time in there.
Yeah, it was sweet.
I thought it was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Their wooden office space that they've got, and just how the floor is laid out, and then they had their warehouse in there. I thought it was so cool, and we saw what was going to go on sale too.
Yeah,
there was a lot of t-shirts in there.
Yeah, I mean, and even that too. Like, if I order anything from Onnit, it's like I know I've seen where this shit comes from. Like, I know the people who put like take care of all this. We met the head guy, Rocky. Well, we saw him. I didn't meet him personally, but
yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, like it's so cool to like again see it all come together and realize like. you kind of just feel more part of it in some weird way.
For sure.
Having being there and like seeing it all.
Yeah, it is a weird thing because it takes away the, not mystery, but it takes away the whole, it's coming from this place, but you've seen it, you've touched it, you've actually talked to people who look after it. You know what I mean? So there is a wall that's taken down a little bit for you.
Yeah, I mean, and if like from someone like me, and I think from a lot of people, it starts with that whole connection of, Onnit shares ideas that are similar to mine. Like there's a shared value and ideas here, all the way to like, I've been in the space. Like I've touched all the shit on the wall. Like I've seen all the offices. I've seen the founder. Like all these things. It just closes that gap in your experience level to really kind of bring it full circle.
And you saw me rock and rolling.
That's right. Dion was jamming on the. They have a drum set in their creative space, and he and the boss.
That's the boss.
The boss man were playing some Metallica and shit. It was very loud. I don't know why, but I was surprised by how loud the fucking drums were. When you first hit it, I literally jumped. It scared me. I was checking out the stickers on the locker. I had my back turned to you, and you fucking started wailing, and I jumped.
Again, going back to touching all the shit, he's looking at stickers on a locker. I was looking at all the stickers on the locker, and then the drums surprised me. Fuck, that's funny. That was so fucking funny. But yeah, even doing that for me.
Yeah.
Going back to being an Onnit fan, I'm in the creative space playing drums with someone like Megan's boss.
Yeah.
It's just so odd, but fucking fun at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. I fucking love it. But since Kellin's been here, I forgot that he was with watching the Formula One. But we've been eating out, having breakfast tacos, doing barbecue things almost every single day.
Yeah, man, we've been tearing it up.
Fuck yeah, tearing it up, tearing up the wallet.
Yeah,
tearing up my butthole, tearing it up, bro.
We did some grilling last night for the Samoan feast.
Woo.
Yeah.
So we had Samoan food, some traditional Samoan food made by my wife. And it was Kellin's first time.
Mm-hmm.
It was your first time having Samoan food.
Yep.
And I remember you saying last night, you can eat a lot of things in Portland, but you can't find this.
No.
And I was like, well, you really can't, can you?
I wouldn't even think to be totally honest. Like just because I've never heard of like a Samoan place, like that's just not something that comes up often.
It's not.
But yeah, it was crazy to have it. Like you said earlier, like your whole island, your kitchen island was just literally full of stuff, and Megan was still like preparing things. And, it was something, man.
Yeah, straight up though, that's literally how Samoan families feast.
Nice.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
Wow.
After church service.
Yeah.
After their White Sunday, they just go back to whoever's house and just cook up a feast.
Nice.
And then, so I was trying to say last night is that the women do all the cooking,
mm-hmm.
and the men kind of just sit around and bullshit and talk about Samoan stuff. And the kids, which is what I used to do, was you would sit around the food, the food that was done.
Mm-hmm.
You sit on those big, large picnic tables. You grab a tea towel or a cloth, hand cloth or whatever you call it, and you just wipe away the flies, like swipe them away.
Oh, nice.
So that's all I did when I was a kid. Like I just get a rag and just like make sure flies don't get on the food.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like a group of kids, like 10 of us, just doing this, waiting until it's time to eat.
Right.
And then once the ladies are done, then it's the men that go first, ladies go second, then the kids go third. But it's just...
That's kind of a good system, though, like keeping the food ready and ready to go for the feast.
Yeah, man.
I like it.
Oh, that just reminds me of it. As I get older, I'm going to be that one that just sits around with the old men and just talks about random shit.
Yeah.
But I'm so not Samoan that I don't know what they would be talking about. Because I think I'm the whitest Samoan man there is in my family.
Where in Mexico is that?
It's just right off the border on the other side of the
Sorry,
world.
I'm pulling in some EVK material. I shouldn't do that.
I don't know what you mean by EVK. I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
Eagle versus Kiwi podcast. Have you heard of it?
No. He's talking about my other show that I have that I started. It's where I talk about America and how different it is from New Zealand and how it takes me a while to get used to that. But
But,
yeah.
but like if you were back in New Zealand where there's other Samoan characters, I don't know why I use that
characters. Other Samoan players.
You feel like you'd be considered like a quote unquote white Samoan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't have a Samoan accent and I don't know how to speak it.
Okay.
So in most Samoan people's eyes, that's like white
Got
as
it.
fuck. Even
Got
though
it.
you're like brown and you've got Samoan parents.
Yeah.
If you don't have one of those things, well, I mean, you're gonna have the accent if you know how to speak Samoan fluently. But
And what's that phrase they use for the white person?
Palangi.
Palangi.
Palangi is technically it means non-Samoan. So like
got it.
someone who is not Samoan.
Got it.
But slang terms and I actually just learned this today when I was on Wikipedia. When the first thing I woke up, for some reason I wanted to know more about it. First thing I woke up was Google Palangi and origins. So I started reading about it this morning. Is that New Zealand's was the first place to use it more as a social slang.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, that's kind of crazy. And it was used in, like, I would describe you as Palangi.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to take the take the piss out of you, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Take the piss out of you, I'd be like, this Palangi doesn't know how to do this thing or something like that.
You'd use it more in like a negative sort of way.
Use it in a negative way. And even my nan, when I told you yesterday, is that I can't believe the Samoan food is made by a Palangi. Because it is quite weird that Megan knows how to make really good Samoan food.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird. Yeah, but, I mean, yeah, that is what it is.
Yeah. Palangi. I like it.
Palangi means non-Samoan, or in the slang, white person.
But you wouldn't be, like, if you went back to New Zealand, no one would say that to you because you're obviously
No.
Samoan.
No one would say
Yeah.
that to me because I'm Samoan.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense. Because I am Samoan. But they would use it to, like, take the piss out of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like,
Which just means like fuck with you.
yeah, it would
Okay.
just, like, fuck around with me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Maybe people don't know what that means.
Well, wait, do you know what I'm just giving you shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We've had some foreigners that, when I was in high school, that didn't understand that.
Oh.
So they literally thought that I was giving them my feces. Like, no. I'm just, like, joking with you. Oh, okay. Oh, you give me shit. Like, yeah. Megan's used that slang wrong, too.
Really?
Yeah. We were joking around in the car. I remember this specifically. And instead of saying, I'm just giving you shit, she just said, I'm just giving you a shit. I'm like, no.
Megan, really?
Yeah, Megan fucked that up so
Man,
bad.
I feel like that's a pretty normal American term to use.
I don't know. Megan's pretty damn white. Megan
Yeah.
is pretty dumb.
I mean, so am I, though.
I don't know, man. She comes from a pretty wealthy family.
Yeah, I don't, but
Like a very, like a hoity-toity family.
oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Got it.
I guess I should have said that one first. She comes from a very, like, proper, prime and proper family.
Nice.
They'd never use the slang. Giving you
Oh,
shit.
yeah. I gotcha.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotcha.
Now you get
I
what I'm saying.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just giving you shit. If you were to pick one of your favorite spots here in we're not in Portland. We are not in Portland.
Kasube. I love that place. Have you ever been there? Flipper.
Flipper. Fuck, man. Flipper. Shit. I only started going there at the tail end of my Portland trip, of my Portland living. I remember when we had the one last catch-up, we went to Kasube.
I actually haven't been back since then.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, because we moved to a different spot, and like my spot I have now, I can do shows pretty well. So I've just been inviting people over to my house or the studio. Yeah.
Gotcha. Over to your place.
Stay Curious Studios.
See, I used to have a spot like that in Pittsburgh. You know, we had a third floor that we never used, so we turned it into the podcast studio.
Nice.
You know, I did it all up. I had everything set up. I had, you know, my New Zealand flag, Samoan flag hanging up. It was sick.
That's awesome.
But we realized that if I wanted to invite anyone who was like, who I've never met before, and I think is a little crazy, I don't want them to know where I live.
That's true.
So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just invite friends over, or if it's someone crazy, I'll go somewhere public.
Right.
Public where there's heaps
in other words, witnesses.
Witnesses, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's why I still want to do the podcast studio, but I want to get it somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't want it. I mean, I've looked at places across the street, but I may even think about somewhere further away.
No, I totally get that, though. Like a close friend like me, it's fine. Like, I obviously would be here anyway if we weren't doing a podcast. But, like, someone you barely know, it's a little... You just don't want to mix those things as much.
No, it gets tough.
Yeah.
It gets tough for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, like let that be here.
That's true.
I'd rather just have close friends to know where I live.
Yeah.
But if anything, you know, there's always going to be a way that someone's going to find out where you live. And that's the fucking creepy part.
Yeah. But back to your question, I think that...
oh, yeah. What was your favorite spot in Auckland? Fuck!
We're in Austin, Texas, son.
If you were to pick one of your favorite eating spots or like whatever you did here in Austin, what would it be?
I think my favorite eating spot actually was Magnolia, the place we've been for breakfast.
Really?
Yeah. Just because it's like such a... I mean, the food is amazing, but it's such like like an old school kind of mom and pop diner feel to it. You know, a little more like authentic experience. So I really like that. I do like Picnic. Yes, product placement. I do like Picnic, which is where we've been getting coffee. They're super nice there. So those in terms of eating, I think those are my favorites. I really do like the dog park you go to. And even though I got lost several times, I did like going for a run and kind of exploring. Like, I love doing that, going similar to when I went and walked around the Capitol, like just going to somewhere new and not exactly knowing where I'm going, but kind of using my general directions to try and figure it out. It's fun. Yeah, I really like that.
That is like a neat way to do it.
Yeah.
Just park up somewhere and go. Like I was telling you last night, sometimes I just like going for a drive. Like I'll just jump in the car and just go somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's not just, I don't know what it is. Maybe a little bit of boredom or maybe a little bit of, it's a nice night. Like, why not take advantage of it?
Right.
Go for a drive. And sometimes Megan and I will just pack up the entire car with, like, you know, the pups. And, you know, Megan will just go for a drive somewhere.
Oh, you know, too, that fucking, like, the photo shoot was fun being a part of On It, like we already talked about. But just being on the Greenbelt and going to the Lost Lake area and being... like, being at this really cool, like, little waterfall with a river... whatever the hell that was, lake river type thing.
I don't know what it was.
But seeing you, dude, just like roll around like a fucking 3-year-old in the water was hilarious. It was so cool.
I was just so stoked. I was like, legit. I was so fucking happy.
He was like literally looks like he was in a bathtub, just like floating around. Like if there was like some toys, like rubber duck toys in there, he'd be right at home.
I was having the time of my life there, and I did not care how long we were there for. Yeah. I looked up every time, going, "Fuck, I hope they're not leaving yet." I'm like, just let me enjoy this, man. This is so fun. I fell in by accident, and I fell in, and I got scared immediately. I was clinging onto this rock for dear life, but then realized it was pretty shallow. But I didn't know that. I just fell, and I'm like, oh shit, oh fuck. I clinged onto this rock. The photographer's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But in my heart, I was like, oh fucking shit, man.
I know. And when that happened, I had my back turned to where you were. I was like, and I didn't hear you at first say anything. I was like, fuck, is he all right? Like, I'll lower the mace down there and, like, pull him up this rock face if we have to.
Yeah, man. I was scared, but I was like, okay, be calm. You know, just use your stabilizer muscles. Just pull yourself up. Don't use anything. Just pull yourself up. Get on this rock and you'll be fine. And it was fine. It was great. I've had so much fun. And I was hoping that you guys were going to jump in, and you guys did.
Yeah. I don't think I think the photographer was wanting to get back because he's like on a schedule and working and all that bullshit. And I was like, nah, like we're here. Like I can't not jump in now. Like we're already here. Like our work is done.
Yeah.
Might as well just fuck off for a little bit and have some fun.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised you guys jumped in.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think you guys were. So that's why I was like racing around and like making the most of it. Like, look at this thing. Oh, that's cool. Like, oh, look. You
were
at this.
Trying to knock over that totem thing.
Yeah, fuck that totem thing, man. I was trying so hard to hit it with a rock to like get some gratification, but I couldn't. I kept missing. So I was like, fuck this. I'm jumping in. So yeah, I jumped in and I kicked it over, and I was like, yeah, fuck that totem. So whenever they come back and find it, they're going to be so upset.
Yeah, they're going to be lost because they won't know where to go because that was their marker.
Nah, they won't. Nah.
But yeah, it was great. There was no one else out there when we were there in the water, and yeah, it was pretty perfect. It wasn't too sunny, so the weather, it wasn't too hot. Yeah, it was all around a really great experience.
You know, you talk about the weather, man. You talk about the
Not
weather,
again.
and here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you about the weather. Just another day. I open the curtains, and every morning I'm like, it's a good day.
You should. I'm sure you've thought of this already, but that should definitely be a T-shirt slogan.
Was it?
Just another day, Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, I open the curtain. Just another day. Every time I open the curtains in Portland, sad. I'm so sad, man.
No, it's just another day there, but unfortunately, it's on the wrong end of the spectrum.
It's the other way around.
It's on the shit end of the spectrum.
I never really knew how much it rained in Portland until I moved away.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and again, it doesn't rain every day, but it just rains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it doesn't rain, it's quite gloomy.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of winter. I love winter so much. So when we had last year's winter, I was loving it.
Yeah.
Because it snowed so much. I was loving it. But I didn't realize how much weather can affect your mood and how you are day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the vitamin that gives off? Vitamin
D.
D?
Yeah.
When we first drove into our apartment complex with our trailer, got out of the car, it was blistering hot.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe how hot it was. And I from the car where we parked to get into the gate, sweating up a storm. Fucking sweating.
You're talking about here in Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sweating up a storm. But then a week into, living here, I'm like, man, this is great. Like, our mood has changed. Megan and I haven't had a crazy argument, and I don't know if that's the weather, or it could be, situations of our day-to-day has changed dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
But we've noticed this considerable difference.
Yeah, and I think it's been the same for Sarah and I. Like, we didn't have any time together for 9 months, and then we both sort of found new things. And over the last 6 weeks, 2 months, it definitely helps. Just sort of each having a shift and a change of scenery, I think just helps reset it.
I agree.
But yeah, the weather definitely doesn't hurt that either.
Fuck no, man. And when you leave, you don't have to tuck under something and be like, oh fuck, it's cold, or fuck, it's gonna rain. It's
right.
You can leave and be like, oh, sweet, it's gonna. But I will say that their fall right now, the weather that it is, how it's brisk in the morning, cold, whatever, cold at night. This is literally a New Zealand summer.
Yeah,
it's so identical to a New Zealand summer. It doesn't get above whatever it is. It doesn't go above 80. Never does. It's warm, but there's a breeze that cuts the heat.
Right.
And it just changes all the time. Like yesterday, it rained a lot, and then throughout the day, it went nice.
Yeah.
It's exactly like a New Zealand summer.
Yeah. No, that's cool. When I checked the weather for the races, obviously, because I was keeping an eye on that, it said Sunday was the worst day for weather, and it rained up until 11, and then by the time I got to the track at 1, it couldn't see a fucking cloud in the sky.
Yeah.
Super clear, little breeze coming in. I mean, it was about as ideal as it gets.
Yeah, man. And it's great. I love that that you enjoyed it. You saw the races, and all those drivers have to have great focus all the time and great memory. And you know what else gives you great focus and great memory? Alpha Brain Instant. Alpha Brain Instant. That if you're watching this on YouTube, you see this little packet right here. It's not even open because I got a whole bunch of them. Sorry. I got a whole bunch of them. This one's unopened. Got a whole bunch. But if you want one yourself, you can actually go to honorandconquer.com/onit and click the Alpha Brain link, and you can get 10% off the capsule form. And I'm not a big fan of the capsule form, but I like the instant. But if you're like, oh, I don't want to get the capsule form, I want to try what Dion likes, and that's the powdered form, you can use a 10% code, which is GetOnnit. You get 10% off your online order on all supplements. All right. Again, this one's just unopened. Like, sorry, I got a lot of them. But yeah, get that one.
Boom. There it is.
But going back to Portland, I really want you to move here. All right. I said it in code on Kellin's podcast that he never talked about it, which he doesn't. He doesn't talk about it.
I don't. It's not even entered my mind that would be.
But you know what? Just move here. Just move here. Okay? I know you got a job at Airbnb. Amazon could be moving here pretty soon.
That's true.
Just move here. Nah, man, I totally get it. Like, it's a big move for sure. It's a massive move, moving from Portland, Oregon to Austin, Texas, and I should know because I'm not from here.
Nope.
All right. I don't know.
No, I get it. Yeah, it's and we've already talked about this sort of ad nauseum at this point, but which I think is Latin for until we barf.
Actually, I think if you can remember ad nauseum, it actually means till it happens.
Oh.
Yes, and it was derived from ancient Greece, and then it got redone into a new meaning to what we know it today.
Got it. Well, that's quite the history lesson.
I read. As you can see, I've got books on my table.
You do. You have a couple books over there.
Yeah,
They also still have the wrappers on them. I don't know.
I like this. You can get 10% off if you use get the code to get on it. This is unopened. But I get a lot of free things, okay, guys? All right. I'm sorry, guys.
Podcast life is hard.
No, there are some books on the table over there that I do need to read. I'm not a strong reader. I'm so not a strong reader.
It's tough, man.
I start to think of other stuff. Like I start to read, to think about, like what's for lunch, or like even if I know it sounds stupid, but I'll think about what am I gonna have for dinner tonight, or what time do I need to pick up Megan again? I forgot.
Right.
I can never get lost in the book.
Well, and I think like you talked about, so quickly going back to the moving thing, I'd be on board to take a risk, but I'm not thinking for myself anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Because it's two people now with Sarah, so.
Yeah, man. But at the same time, like when I had to move from New Zealand to... See, this was the problem. When I moved from New Zealand to Pittsburgh, I was like, yeah, all about it. Let's go on a road trip. All about it. Let's go for a holiday.
Which means vacation.
Oh, vacation, sorry. Let's go for a vacation. Yeah, let's do it. Let's pack up all our shit. Okay, cool.
Right.
All right, let's get your green card sorted. Yeah, need that. Let's say goodbye to our friends. Yeah, man, I'll see them again. I'll see them all again. That's why we've got Facebook and Instagram. I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's go. We're on the plane. It takes us, fucking day and a half to get here. Whatever it is. It's an 18-hour time difference. That's what it is. I just figured it out. I get here. I'm laying on my bed in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm not going back home. Holy fuck. I'm so far away from home. What am
Yeah.
I going to do? I'm going to have to make friends all over again.
Mhm.
I didn't think of any of that shit.
Yeah.
So I totally get why whenever people move to a different place or it's a big move in general, I totally get why people have their reservations about it.
Right.
But at the same time, I go, well, at least I'm not doing this by myself. Because if I was by myself, then I'd be well fucked.
Yeah.
I'd be fucked up the butt.
That's true.
Yeah, man. And I've never been fucked up the butt before. So it's new. It's scary. It's almost exciting.
Oh, it is. I mean,
Traveling, not getting fucked up the butt.
well, both potentially, I suppose.
Traveling in general, like moving. That's
right.
what I mean.
Right. It is, and it's tough to recreate those social networks and those friend groups
Fuck
when you
yeah.
move somewhere. It's taken a while for me in Portland. I feel like I had an advantage because of Lululemon and whatnot. But yeah, it still takes time. I personally am one who I don't feel like I need to have like a giant circle of friends anyway. Like I can have like 1, 2 good friends that I like would see on a regular basis. And outside of that, you have your work acquaintances and all the other stuff you do. But I don't need like this giant network of people. At least not like physically in the same city. Again, Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
mobile phone, landlines, all that stuff.
Landlines, yeah.
There's ways to keep in touch, but it still takes energy and effort to do that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Speaking of landlines, when we were living in Portland, we heard a landline go off in someone's apartment. And we were like, who the fuck has a landline? Seriously, who
It was
has
like
a
an
landline?
old school ringer?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It was like a fucking... You can tell when it's like a handheld device.
Right,
Those
right.
ones you have to put on the thing. Megan and I looked at each other like, who the fuck has a landline in 2016?
Right.
Last year. Why would you actually have one? Like, legit question. Why would you have one?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, there's no reason. No, not at all. I remember when I signed up for internet in my apartment in Indianapolis, and like part of their whole deal was and if there's a phone number associated with it, and they're like they were like convincing me to buy a phone, like a handset to connect to the wall. I'm like, well, I'm not going to use it. Like mobile phones, right? Hello.
Mm.
And they're like, no, but it's still, I'm like, yeah, I get all that. Like, it's never going to come into play. So
Yeah.
I'll just have the number, whatever. That's
Yeah.
fine. But like, I'm not using it. It was just strange to feel like they were still like clinging on to this relic of the past for some reason.
I remember when I was living in New Zealand and landlines were still a thing, but people were having cell phones all the time.
Oh.
And it was on that really weird cusp where it's good to have a cell phone, but it didn't have games or anything on it. It was
Right.
just a cell phone.
Right.
Only did phone calls and texts. And I remember seeing on TV that this family in New Zealand, they don't have a landline, they just have phones. And I was like, holy fuck, that's insane. Like, you still need a landline, dummy. You can't just live a fucking...
Right. Like, what if something goes wrong? You're going to need that.
Yeah, you're going to need that landline, man. What happens if the phone's not there or something? What the fuck? I was so buzzed out by that they didn't have a landline, they just had cell phones. And this is back when there was no such thing as a color screen.
Oh,
It was-
right.
yeah, it was just...
like the old school Nokias and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
just like that. No games on it or anything.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember your first cell phone?
I do, man. I remember like there not being games on it. Like so here was the fun with them for me. The fun was, one, you got to choose the color of the cover. So you could pop the cover off and put like your own customization on it.
Yep.
So that was like one form of fun. The other one was, because there's no games, you literally would just like, when you're bored, you'd like scroll through and you'd check out all the settings. Like, oh, what's in the settings folder?
Yeah,
and you'd
yeah.
like fuck around in there and
Exactly.
it was just words. You're looking at words.
Yeah.
But that was how you like explored it and everything.
That's what I still do. I still go when I get a new Android, but I've got an iPhone now. But when I had an Android, I know I could do heaps of other cool things on it.
Right.
But I went through the settings just to fucking play around and
Nice.
see what I can mod, and like I still do that even
Yeah.
on the iPhone. Just like, do I want my text large or small? Like, let's go with medium. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna try a day with small text. I'm like, oh, that hurts my eyes. Let's try medium. Medium's good.
Nice.
But I still do that, and I think that's because we are from that era that we didn't have any phones, like games or anything on it.
Yeah.
But I think kids these days are like, let's download Instagram straight away so we can,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you're really nerdy and you do want to do settings. But
I still don't play games on my phone.
yeah, neither.
Yeah.
I think it's wasted battery
Right.
and wasted space. Like,
Yeah.
I don't play. I've got a PlayStation 2.
Oh shit.
Pretty up with it. You know, actually, when you guys were out, when Megan went for a run or sleep, and you were at the track, play PlayStation. Play PlayStation 2 because you know I've got the high tech technology up to date.
No, I remember when we had a landline. Our first phone that I remember was actually a rotary phone. So it was like the box, and then you like dialed it this way, and it would automatically scroll back.
Yeah.
It was orange. It was like bright orange, and it had a black and like fluorescent green like poison control sticker on it. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess I was eating shit as a kid. I don't know why they had. So it was just a really like stark color difference. But yeah, I remember having to, you know, and then you'd fuck it up and you'd have to be like, oh, fuck, I pressed it. And then you'd have to hang it up and then pick it back up so it would go back to the dial tone.
Oh, true.
And then do the whole scrolling thing again.
Scroll again.
Yeah. And then when we made the step from that to like a digital sort of handset, we had that fucker for a long time.
Really?
So by the time the digital handsets were already like worked out, they were sorted, they were good. And it was like such a big step forward in my mind.
Oh, I was gonna say. So you had like speed dial. You didn't have a cord attached to your phone. It was just we didn't have the rotary. My nan had the rotary.
Okay.
My nan had the rotary one. She had that in the lounge, but in the bedroom she had the like the actual handset that you can like roam around the house with. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But my mum had like a normal phone with the cord attached and speed dial buttons on the thing. So I had one for my own bedroom and I would like put girls that I like, you know, like I had their numbers, but I was like, I'm going to make this girl number one because I like her the most. And I would put like, Jessica on there. I would put Charmel number 2. That's all
Are these their actual names?
Yeah. I accidentally said Jessica's last name, but I quickly corrected myself. But yeah, I had Jessica, Charmel. I didn't have Chloe's because I don't think I tried to add this girl. on Facebook. Denied.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man, long ago.
So 2 things. First of all, do you remember how excited you got as a kid when the phone rang? I would when I heard the phone ring, I would fucking sprint through the house to where the phone was because I was just so, in my mind, I thought it was like a friend calling because I was an only child for 8.5 years too. Yeah. And I was constantly bored because we lived out in the middle of nowhere. So I was like so excited that it was potential fun on the other end of the line. Like run through the house.
Potential fun.
Yeah. The fun bus was calling and they wanted me to hop on board.
That's so funny.
So I got super excited. But the second thing is, do you remember your original phone number?
Yep.
You do? What was it?
3432639.
Ooh, yeah. Mine was 812-922-3847.
Whoa.
It's just funny that you like the shit you store in your brain.
Yeah. But I more remember the tone.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's like I remember it, so it's 3432639.
Speaking of tones, is there a difference between like when you dial someone, when you call them, is that noise that you hear when it's actually calling, is that different than it is in America? I feel like there's even a difference in that.
Yes.
Why is that? That's so strange.
I don't know. It's fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
That's weird.
I don't know if you did this when you were a kid, but did you ever just pick up the phone and just start mashing buttons?
I probably did, and it ended up calling someone, wherever the hell it was.
Every time I called a girl that I had a crush on or something, I would play them Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Oh, nice.
It's like, I'm going to impress you right now. Yeah, I could do that.
That's great, man.
Practiced it.
Bust out your recorder and start fucking going to town.
Yeah, man. Do the Jurassic Park theme song. So, by the way, what I mean by that, Kellin doesn't know shit about YouTube memes or anything
I
like
don't.
that.
I'm essentially like out of the pop culture loop altogether.
He's not out of it. He's like thrown away. Like he
And
doesn't know shit.
Dion's on the fucking pop culture. I was gonna say motorway because I've been hanging out here all week. Like the pop culture expressway. He's like constantly going 100 miles an hour on it.
Fuck
So
yeah,
he's
man.
he's asked me, I don't know, at least 10 times. Do you know this? Do you know this? I'm like, dude, no. Every answer, no. I
Like,
don't know it.
He doesn't know shit about anything. Like the girl that I smell like beef. I showed him that today, but he said he remembered it. But there's a whole like series about it. Like this girl that just lives an adult life or whatever and just says random shit.
Yeah.
There's a kid that's looking outside and she's like, I smell like beef. I smell like beef. And I'm like, Kellin, do you know this? He's like, nope. I'm like, fuck, man. Do you know anything? Any random YouTube shit?
I watched Ghost Adventures last night for the first time. That was pretty fun, too.
That was our Sunday ritual that Megan and I usually do. It comes out on Sunday. We go on YouTube. We purchase it for $2.
Nice.
And then we watch it. We watched that. I showed him Fail Army.
Oh, yeah. Those are fun. I like those.
Yeah, they update those every day.
As long as there's not, like, broken bones and shit, I don't
Yeah.
like seeing that.
No, I like seeing, like, honestly, and this is genuine, I like watching, like, kids fuck up or dogs fuck up or old people falling over. I love watching old people fall over because they're up to no good. They're on a scooter. They fall off the scooter. That's your own problem. Like, you're fucked up, man. So I'm going to laugh at you, bro. But if it's something that... I just thought of one. It's this lady. This guy is taking a fucking video of this like street performer, and then this lady walks across. She's like a fairly old and big lady.
Yeah.
She walks across, gets her foot stuck in a crack, and
Oh,
she
no.
falls over.
Right in the front of it.
I'm gonna have to show you
Okay.
later on. But fuck, man, it's so. And I just love watching that shit. But when it comes to like old people, like getting accidentally getting hit by like someone like something moving at a considerable fast rate, then I'm like, nah, man, it's not funny, man.
That's fucked, yeah.
Because that's fucked up.
Have you seen the one, I'm sure you have, where the lady's crossing the street, and an older lady's crossing the street, and some dude is impatient at the intersection,
Oh,
and he honks at her like
yeah.
twice, and then she just swings
Handbag.
her purse and hits it right on his hood. That's pretty badass.
yeah, that's pretty funny. That's pretty old too.
That's old. See, that's what I got.
That's what you've got. It's like high school, man. These are new and current that I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
You went vintage. I appreciate it. But these ones are new. Okay?
New.
New. I'm going to have to... Oh, man. What are the other shit that I showed you, man?
All kinds of stuff.
Fuck me in my ass, man.
That thing.
The one that I just told Kellin about, this is probably the first video I showed him, was this homeless guy in the alley pretending to get fucked in the butt by a ghost. And he's like, oh, you like that? Fuck me in my ass, man. Fuck me.
Yeah, it was long too. It was like a solid 2 or 3 minutes of him just saying.
Yeah, just saying fuck me in my ass, man. Just keep saying, I need to show you Crazy Lokes. I need to show you.
Oh, yeah.
I need to show you a whole bunch of shit, man. Because I'm using this in reference, and you don't know anything.
I need to step into the 21st century here.
Every time I say, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you see, you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, when I say that, that's Crazy Lokes.
Oh, that's a reference.
There's a reference.
Okay,
See?
gotcha.
I need to show you that, bro. I need to show you. And look, we're at a fucking hour.
Okay.
We've got a little bit until we need to get going for our fucking class. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Kellin, for being on the show. For
Yeah,
staying
man.
with me. I appreciate it. And you didn't have to get a hotel room, and you can use our car anytime you want.
This has been perfect. Yeah, this has been amazing. I'm gonna come back in April.
Yeah.
MotoGP races.
Oh yeah, that one I would probably be interested in. Because,
Yeah, they're fun.
because it's bikes.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/honorandconquer. If you do your shopping on Amazon, go to honorandconquer.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, click the Amazon banner, and then do your shopping like you normally would. Thanks to Me Eat Paleo. Go to the website meeatpaleo.com, use our promo code HONOR, and get a 10% discount off your online order. If you want 2 free products from Onnit, go to the 30 count bottle of New Mood or the 28 count bottle of Shroom Tech Sport. Go to honorandconquer.com/onit. Click your preferred link, and then you'll be directed to that exclusive offer. And the offer is only in the United States, and all you have to pay for is shipping. If you get there and you're like, I don't want any of these fucking free shit, I don't want nothing for free, then look, get the Alpha Brain Instant. It's right here on YouTube, if you're watching YouTube. Shown to help support memory and focus, made with earth-grown botanicals, amino acids, vitamin B, all the good shit. This wasn't open because I've got lots of them. I am super popular, so I get these for free. That's a joke. I don't get these. Well, I get them for free, but Megan. Anyway, use the promo code GetOnnit and get 10% off your online order. Okay, we're done. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.